Hey everybody, I'm Seamus.
I'm Josh.
And I'm Rutskarn.
And we're playing Fallout 3.
Which is not Mass Effect.
No, it's not.
No, there are a few small similarities. A few small differences.
Yeah, and Josh is going to be our player this time around. Randy has left the show for reasons that are undisclosed at this time, and Josh will be our player. And Rutskarn and I will be heckling him. Giving commentary.
And I will be endeavoring to live up to the specific level of chaotic stupid which Randy has left as my legacy.
That's gonna be tricky. There's some pretty big clown shoes to fill.
Yes, it's somewhat nerve-wracking. So, shall we jump right in?
Let's do it.
I don't want to set the world on
I gotta say, despite all the heat we're giving this game, or we are going to give this game.
Yes, we are going to give this game a hard time.
The Fallout style down rather well.
They did. I'll give them credit for that. And this beginning, this intro, is pretty much pitch perfect for Fallout.
I agree. I actually played the first Fallout game very shortly before I tried Fallout 3, and I was struck by a lot of the similarities between the two intros. I mean, obviously there's the Ink Spot song, but you know, it's just it has a sort of quiet poignancy to it, I think.
Yeah, that powerful beginning with something. It has that you're zoomed in on something small, and that pans back to reveal increasing levels of chaos and destruction while this music plays, and it becomes unsettling once you get the scope of the destruction after seeing it made so personal. So I think this really works. I was disappointed that this was their teaser trailer for the game, and so when I finally owned the game and I started a new game, I watched the teaser so many times that it was a bit of a disappointment to realize, wait, I've already seen the intro.
But the problem is, you know, if they did another intro, it would just be entirely the same. I mean, if you look at the New Vegas teaser, it's basically this exact same thing.
Yeah, they would just, like, what are they going to do, a truck instead of a bus? Yeah.
Golf cart.
We, of course,
War.
have to have this speech.
War never changes.
Yes, Ron Perlman. Yeah, actually, ice cream truck would have been a good idea.
I was about to say, you know, that was a joke, but ice cream truck would have been...
Blood has been spilled in the name of everything, from God...
Milk truck. Milk delivery truck.
To simple
we really are going to be kicking the crap out of this game. I think all of us have had... up front, I will say Fallout 3 is a fun game. It's not a horrible game, but it disappointed in so many ways for those of us that were looking forward to Fallout, a real Fallout game, which is defined by really lots and lots of ways to solve every problem, and a leveling system that offered incredible freedom. So just basically there's a ton of freedom that was taken from you, and the writing was dumbed way down.
Another bloody chapter of human history.
And
yes,
anybody
I
that
agree.
cannot, if you cannot endure us, if you can't endure us kind of kicking the crap out of this game, then this is going to be hard for you to watch.
Although I would like to play devil's advocate.
Shoes just for this.
Thousands were spared
This game still has a lot more freedom than is normal for a game of 2008.
known as vaults.
That's very true.
Yes, but
yeah,
that's
today
not,
who
that's
else?
not saying a lot,
When they
though.
emerged,
Yeah.
had only the hell of the wastes to greet them.
I mean,
All except
the
those
game,
involved
the majority of the games released in 2008, and you know, frankly, in the past few years,
when
have
fire
been.
reigned from the
They've had the
sky.
linearity
The
of.
giant steel door of vault
They've been like a
101
bit like guided
slid
tours.
closed.
You know, a guided tour is a fun thing to do occasionally. You know, you see some nice
Was
sights,
here,
but
you were.
occasionally you just kind of want to go for
It
a
is
hike
here
or
you will
randomly
die.
walk through a city. You know.
Or just
Using
do
on your own.
something. Yeah, just do something that wasn't scripted for you. Just do inject your own contribution to the game aside from aiming at things. Like, that's really the only contribution you make in a lot of shooters, is like, how much do I hit or miss? And everything else, from what weapons you're using to where you go to what conversations you have and what actions your character takes, everything else is determined for you.
Oh,
Okay,
guys.
I actually like this scene.
This was a pretty shocking way to begin a game.
Just got born.
Yeah, no,
Or
I
we've been
mean, we
abducted
like
by
games
aliens.
that... Yeah, we like games that give us a lot of freedom over our backstory, but this is perhaps going back too far.
Yeah,
You know,
I don't like
I
being
was
born.
trying to convince my friends to buy this game because it was fun, and he asked, "So how does the game begin?" It says, "Well, you're born." Just sort of stares at me for a moment. Says, "Okay, stop being a smartass. How does the game begin?"
Beautiful son.
You've got a bright future ahead of you, son.
On the
and I
upside-
actually don't know.
Look at
Oh, go
Our
ahead.
dad is Liam
Look
Neeson.
at you. Hi there,
It's a good way to begin your life.
little guy.
Your dad is Liam Neeson.
Daddy.
Yeah, I'd
really.
say, you
Although
know,
it's
a
all
fair
downhill
trade.
from here.
Your mother and I.
You're born, Liam Neeson is your dad, and it's all... This is a nice setup. There's a secret that we're probably going to spoil before the game reveals it. But, oh, it's time to name ourselves. But this is a nice setup
character
to
name.
hide that.
I have, like, nothing for character name. You guys got any ideas? I don't know,
Conan.
I'd say
Conan.
Chauncey.
like Liam Neeson or something, or...
All right, Liam Neeson.
You
Oh,
serious? We should... Liam Neeson. This is the son of Liam Neeson. Mine
I'm trying to
is
think of
blown.
the. I'm trying to think of the absolute pansiest, most stereotypical British, like, no-chinned name I can think of.
Reginald.
Cuthbert.
Cuthbert? Reginald Cuthbert.
Cuff.
I don't even know
The
if I'm spelling
22nd.
that correctly.
No, Cuth with a TH, but yeah.
It's close enough. Let's go.
Yes,
Okay.
Cuthbert, whatever.
That's a good name, don't you think? Fits you perfectly. Looks like they've finished the gene test.
Liam
He's
Neeson
asking
gave
us
us
what
a
we
I think
terrible
he's
name.
insulted us.
All grown up.
I know. Well, I like that. Your mother and I have been talking about a name. What do you think of this one? And then it pops up a dialogue to ask you your name, and I'm always thinking, wait a minute, isn't this your job, Dad? This is a lot of
Yeah.
responsibility to give me before I've even been toweled off.
And then, what if you pick just this awful name, as many RPG players do? Like, you name yourself Dorkwinkle. It's like, we've been thinking
Or
about a name.
Reginald
How about
Cuthbert.
Dorkwinkle. It suits you very well.
Yeah. So, people who remember the Oblivion character customization will probably not find something that's terribly different. They've just tightened up the face textures so that you can't make something that looks too absurd. I'm not going to mess with that, though, because people hated it when I did that on the Mass Effect video and spent like 20 minutes on the character creation, so I'm just going to find like a beard that I like.
Although, when in Oblivion, the thing that everyone did complain about was that you couldn't give yourself a good beard. You could just give yourself, like, sort of brown / dark red skin in the area where your beard would be. It really just looked like you'd dipped the lower part of your face in burning pig fat. But, I think they
here
sort of
we go.
overcompensated by giving every single combination of facial hairs
Awesome.
that man could rock. Yes,
I think
that one.
this is it.
All right.
You look like a
Are you
Reginald
sure you
Cuthbert.
want this to be your character? Yes.
You're going
Yes.
to look a lot
I am
like your dad.
absolutely certain.
See that, Catherine?
You're going to look a lot like your dad. That's,
Very strapping.
I don't
I
know if
like
that's
how
a
the
good
DNA
thing.
analyzer. I like how the DNA analyzer knew how we were going to style our beard when we grew up.
What about you? What
He
kind of
knew you'd
person
be
are you?
exactly the kind of
James?
tool that would wear that kind of beard.
She's in cardiac arrest. Start compression.
We also
Oh,
detect
this
that he'll
doesn't
have a
sound
fake
good.
tan and drive around on a Harley Davidson.
Come on.
Oh, and there's Mom going into cardiac arrest. I don't think we'll be seeing her leg again.
You know, theoretically your father is supposed to look different depending on how you make your face. but
Yeah, I
just
think
every
he
time I play
changes
the
your
game-
color.
Yeah, just every time I played the game, he looks vaguely like a beaver. Like just the mammal, a beaver. He's got like the sort of outward bulging chipmunk cheeks.
Look at this.
I do like how he ages throughout the game. Like here we are seeing him probably late 20s, early 30s. Next,
Listen, kiddo.
in the later parts of the game, he will look older, even though he'll
Yes,
still sound
I
like
agree.
Liam Neeson.
You just stay here while Daddy runs to his office. You'll be okay, pal.
Liam Neeson.
So in
case you were
story
worried-
just never changed. That was how
So
he said his
We're
first
1
word.
year old. Why can I bunny hop?
Yes.
Because you're uber
You-
pro, man.
Oh wow, I feel like we're
This
playing
is
Counter-Strike.
disturbing. I'm gonna stab you with my ball. Come over here, opposing forces guy. So, I'm
This
gonna
crib
open
sucks.
this
Dust
gate.
closed.
Just please.
Right, so
Okay,
this
here we
game
go.
has the same special system as the previous two Fallout games. Although they give you a lot less points to start with, and the game kind of punishes you if you try to min-max, because a lot of the perks in the game require an attribute requirement of like 4 or 5 or 6, and some of them like are linked to an attribute of which they have like no relation.
I
So,
forget,
like,
you
can
might
reduce
have-
it
to be
to
good at-
1 on the screen.
What was that?
Can you reduce a stat to 1 on the screen?
Oh yeah. So
Yeah,
we're gonna
But
go
not
for
strength.
we're gonna go for a melee stealth character in the interest of bringing you experiences that you might not have actually seen before.
Are you gonna do low
So,
charisma? I'm just curious where you're gonna steal points. from
having
to make
low
this character.
speech sucks. Actually, having low anything sucks.
Yeah, I've actually never played a low charisma character, and I always stack intelligence, because that's where your skill points come from, and skill points are this game's. Your skill points are more important than your stats here.
Yeah.
Okay, Josh, for the sake of the LP, you have to give yourself absolutely no luck.
Oh,
You just have to
I
work
have
that
to
all
have
the way
luck.
down.
Luck affects crit
No,
chance.
No, we'll just die all the time. Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
just die too often.
I usually end up doing a point spread like this, and then,
Alright.
you know,
I ended up min-maxing
doing
the
intense training if I need to. So
Yeah,
we'll go with that.
I stack intense training. We'll do that once we level up, though.
To jump up on a chair, press SPC. What is the SPC key? I don't understand.
Space?
Yeah, it's supposed
Species?
to be space. But like, it calls it SPC.
That's
Freedom!
Ooh.
You are quite the little explorer, aren't you?
Oh, I actually got through there. I'm not supposed to be able to. Hey. Locked very hard. Bastards.
He's just calmly talking to the empty room. So you're running around, stuffing things in your mouth, jumping onto the furniture, jumping off of the furniture.
Oh,
Trying to
we're
pick the
missing
lock on the front
important
door.
character modes. That moment. We're missing important character
Oh, this is
modems,
crucial.
guys.
Yeah, if you don't pay attention during this, you can't,
Alright, come on.
you know.
Let's go see if your little
Yeah, you
Wait a
lose
minute.
the game.
Yeah.
He's giving us the Bible verse that our dead mom was always into, that talks about having fresh water, because she was really into the idea of having fresh water. And this ties into the main plot of the game, which is about fresh water.
Huh, I think I can,
Indeed.
like, actually jump around out here without progressing it. I have to go over this way.
He's just standing there, calmly waiting for his offspring to stop hopping around like a demented
For his kangaroo offspring.
Yeah, actually, since we haven't seen your mother, I'm just going to assume she's a kangaroo. She's a poncy British kangaroo.
You know, when you're born, you see her leg off to your left. And I misunderstood the scene because it showed you fading in with blood, and I saw one leg, and I assumed the other leg was on the other side of you. And I just completely misunderstood exactly what I was supposed to be seeing, and I was kind of freaked out by it.
Okay, guys,
Like,
pop quiz. Is this guy a villain?
So here you are.
Wow, gee, I can't tell.
He's so
Like the
condescending and
administrator.
arrogant.
And the administrator has never been the villain in a Fallout game. Ever. Once. Even.
You know, I would make fun of it, but I actually almost kind of like that they're just straight up with it. Like, yeah, Overseer's a villain.
Happy birthday.
Overseer's always
Okay,
a villain. He's a villain this time,
200
nothing's changed.
Yeah.
Your dad was
200 years after the bombs fell, we've been living in this vault is not big. This vault is not even the size of a good mansion. Like,
Okay, if you're so
this
kind,
vault, the
Yeah.
size that they portray it, is maybe big enough for a couple of families. But, you know, that's just, I mean, the original Fallouts had that problem as well. You can't really depict,
you know what I mean.
if you're going to say, well, we have 100 people, to actually depict that much space would be really boring and repetitive. It would just be these endless dorms.
The question is, how
Right, give me my comic book thing so that I can up my skills. So this is actually an introduction that many people probably won't see because they won't check their inventory until they like hit 18 or 20, wherever it is when the plot actually picks up. But this will not be there when they get there. But this is a skill book, and if you use it, you get your melee weapons increased by 1, which is important because we're a melee character.
I don't know about you guys, but reading comic books has taught me everything I need to know about beating people to death with melee weapons.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I like how
So,
they're
we don't
reinforcing
need to
the
talk
idea that
to all
comic
of
books
these
lead to
people,
violence.
but-
Are you having a nice party? Goodness.
They don't lead to
listen
violence.
me
They just make
ramble.
sure that you
You're
do
waiting
acquit
for your
yourself well
present,
once you're into
aren't
it.
you?
But I like how 200 years later, we still have bright,
Well,
colorful party
maybe
hats and a
people
happy
were more
birthday
polite
sign.
than I did.
Like,
Respectable
is the
people.
lifespan on those
Had a
things
real
even
officer back then,
5 years?
worthy of respect.
No, after 5 years,
Like,
the
if you
cat's
could-
fired.
Wow, she is
Yeah.
dissing the overseer. Well, she sits across the table from him.
Oh my, there I go again with my
Nice.
Yeah.
She's
What?
gutsy.
What are
I'm
you?
still waiting patiently for your present. I suppose
As far
I
as
could ask
those
more
happy
politely.
birthday banners, though,
But
no, I
even
mean
still,
those
your
things
birthday.
are very
So,
cheap.
there you go.
If you try to save
Nice
those, even for like the
sweet
next
roll and
year,
bake just for
after
you.
350 days, the letters will rearrange themselves to say, "Are you kidding me?"
Aw, fuck.
Oh, they're cutting
Just
the
broke our
birthday cake.
cake.
Oh.
I'm hungry, and that's stupid.
Like, after 200
Oh,
years,
look.
they still have a robot that ruins the cake, and nobody has figured out to stop having the robot cut the cake.
Let's
You'd think
see,
after
we
200
can-
years they'd have worked that out.
Well, they called tech support,
can
but they're actually
be,
still on hold.
A wimp, or we can be diplomatic, but
I have
we can be an
never,
ass,
ever been
too.
diplomatic.
Punk.
I am always a jerk to this kid.
Sorry, you little sweet piece of
Yep,
okay,
I
need to
always
bring
insult
my,
his
hey,
mom.
fists, come out now, fists.
No, you,
Thank you.
No, the game does not let you fight back. I hope you weren't planning on playing an evil character.
Okay,
I hope you wanted to play a punching bag, because that's what you're playing.
I'm sure I can get
Class,
cheats on this
punching
level, right?
I can't believe you tried
Just
to
give
start
myself
fight.
a
I
rocket
ate all of my
launcher.
party. What a jerk. Right.
I kind of wish
that's
you had the
exactly
option to
what I
not
was
go
thinking.
through all these conversations on repeat playthroughs.
I could, you know, skip them all really fast, but
Yeah, but
The
you know,
thing
even that's
about
a
this,
hassle.
the thing about this and Oblivion both have this thing where they have a very lengthy intro where you
Yeah.
gather items and do everything, and then just before it cuts you loose into the main world, there's a one-way door where it lets you change every single thing you've already established about your character. You can change your class, your stats, your name, and even your gender. And so the usual thing to do is to get to that door, and if you know about it ahead of time, save right there, and then on subsequent playthroughs you load that one. But it seems
And
like
to be fair,
Anyone else?
I think it actually does autosave in Fallout 3 at that point.
come on, Dad.
It,
Come
like,
on,
creates
get
a
up so we
permanent
can
autosave.
get on with this and I can grow up. Come on. Hey. Hey.
This is supposed to be up high.
Okay, how do I trigger this thing? Do I have to talk to everybody?
no, it is time based. I just did this last night. You just gotta wait it out.
Fit all right and everything?
Wally said my Pip-Boy was a piece of junk. Who's Wally,
I
and
actually
when did he
genuinely
say
feel
that?
guilty about mouthing off to this guy. More than
Yeah,
anyone
he is a
NPC
good
in the
guy.
game.
He is a nice guy.
Yeah.
Shouldn't need to open her up again for a decade or two.
I think I've got this as just, you know, polite society has raised me to the point where insulting
yes, I
someone who
almost
gives
forgot.
me a
Happy
gift
birthday.
is just,
Not
you
much,
know,
but I hope you like it.
ritual suicide is a preferable option.
I've got to think about it.
Hey, look, a kid's baseball cap that I won't be able to use. Hey, a sweet roll, I can eat it and give myself HP that I don't need.
I like the sweet roll.
Yes.
It's kind of a running joke in Bethesda games.
So, now we're wearing a jumpsuit.
You can get a party
and
hat, and I
a
believe you'll
baseball
still
cap.
have the. I believe you'll still have the party hat later, or maybe not. I can't remember now.
Which, you know, that's BS. I mean, if you give a kid a party hat, he eats it, half of it, destroys, tears up the rest, you know, throws it into the dogs, water ball. Just party hats do not survive children.
So apparently everyone hates Butch.
Yeah, are you role-playing as a narc, Josh?
I guess.
Jonas?
Oh, their dad is finally going to answer the intercom.
Thanks. I'll send him right down. Hey, that was Jonas on the intercom. He and I have been cooking up a little surprise present. Jonas is waiting for you downstairs on the reactor level. Go ahead. I don't think anyone will mind if you slip out for a few minutes.
Yeah, all 6 people. Gee, I wonder where the birthday kid went.
Yeah.
Wasn't he the only reason we're here?
This person.
My goodness, I hope I didn't miss the party.
Well, since we're
What do you-
leaving,
what
I
else do
think
think
you
was on
did.
her social
You
calendar?
can't actually
You're a
insult
big
this
10-year-old
person.
man now,
I have
aren't you?
tried.
With your
She-
very own Pip-Boy.
She's the one person in the
And do
entire
you know
game I
what I
want to
did?
insult. And,
Just
you know,
for the occasion.
you can just be
Wrote
so
you a
flip to the
poem.
people who actually
I
give
hope
you
you
decent
like it.
presents. This woman is just pure annoyance. Can't say a thing.
No, really.
I mean, you gotta be kidding.
See, I am picking like the worst options and
There was that one
nothing
found
is
day
happening.
Where I couldn't rhyme anything with overseer. But you deserve nothing less than a brand new poem. You can keep it in your
Blah
Pip-Boy
blah
and read
blah
it
blah
whenever
blah
you
blah blah
want.
blah. Let me go. Thank you.
Sheer fear.
Okay,
And
I'm
the common
thinking
thing,
that it's gonna get
the
really
common-
annoying if I try to let every conversation play out, given how much dialogue there is in this game.
The common thing when you're playing on your own and you're not doing a playthrough like this is to just you click your mouse button and skip these conversations.
Yep, I've actually been doing that by reflex here and kicking myself.
Look at that. If you can wait just one more minute,
I like
think
this guy.
your Dad will want to give you the surprise himself.
Wait, so my dad told me to go down here to meet you for my surprise so that he could come down here and give me my surprise.
Yeah.
What?
Are you ready for your surprise?
I think it's actually an ambush.
The Overseer gave you your Pip-Boy, and you're old enough to do some work. So, I figure you're old enough for this. Your own BB gun. It's a little old, but it should work perfectly.
Good thing we still have BB
A
guns in the
BB
future.
Down here.
A BB
So I
gun, a
can push
200-year-old
walls.
Took us a good 3 months to
a
find something to get it
200-year-old BB gun in an
right.
underground
Tiny
vault.
spring that small.
Like I'm really
Thing puts
questioning
this
the
place
utility
on
of this
switch
thing
like
for
this.
anything besides mischief.
So, what do you think? Want to give it a try?
Actually,
What
I do
do I
know a
get
lot
to
of
kill?
friends who just
It's only a
legitimately shoot
BB
each other
gun,
with BB
but
guns.
it's not a toy. Let's go try it out. Jonas and I have found a nice spot for you. Follow me.
That's really what a BB gun is. I mean, what would you call a BB gun besides a toy?
A
Oh,
deadly
it's already
weapon.
equipped.
I think you could just about like get somebody's attention with this thing. Perhaps not.
Yeah.
Actually.
Although you can kill this rad roach with it.
My mouse sensitivity has been all screwed up since I started playing this game again, and
I
now
like
it's,
how
like,
that
super
little motion
sensitive.
you do makes it look like it's pump action.
Think you can
Yeah.
control it with your BB gun? Just aim and shoot. You'll be fine.
Actually, it might be pump action.
Pump action BB gun.
Good
I think-
work. That's one less rad roach to deal with. Let's get a picture
Wa-
together.
wasn't that
Capture the moment.
like I'm trying to think
Hey,
of
Jonas,
like
get a picture of me
a
with
Christmas
the big
story.
game hunter.
Wasn't his BB gun pump action?
I don't know.
And for the record, that was me not trying to hit Jonah.
Different parts.
To the internet.
Man, it takes us like 15 minutes to grow up. Why the hell couldn't this happen to me the first time?
As far as I can tell, you're.
I don't know that I'd want to go through puberty in 15 minutes.
So yes, you have to go to class to take
Well, it'd
the
be
goat
over
exam.
really fast.
Go on now. You've got a goat.
Yeah, actually, it turns out that most BB guns are lever action.
Okay, there is some important dialogue to see here.
Generalized occupational aptitude test. GOAT. Everyone here in the vault takes it when they're 16.
You know,
To figure out what sort
This
of
every
goat
time
exa-
a
have here in Vault 101
Sorry, you
when
first.
get a bit older.
Oh.
So,
I was just explaining this GOAT exam is basically where you pick your character class. That's all this is. He's talking about us going to a classroom so we can take a test. But it's just, we're going to go there and pick our character class. And it does it like the Oblivion thing where it asks you a bunch of moral questions. But if you're not an idiot, you can just swindle the teacher into giving you the pop-up that'll just let you check the 3 things you want, which is much nicer than trying to intuit what the test is really asking.
On the other hand, I kind of want to do the test just because it's hilarious.
I was about to say, you know, in the Bethesda games, every time when it presents me with the test, I go with it, and then every time I go through and, you know, pick the results I actually want. I just like taking the test. I think Bethesda, it's one of the more entertaining parts of Bethesda opening.
Well, I get annoyed when I think, you know, I answer the questions the way I really want to, and then it'll give me some stupid, oh, you must be completely interested in using melee weapons, or, you know, something like that, because you picked this one choice, and it's like, wait, I just screwed up my one decision about something I answered on this test defined my physical being. So I always find myself paralyzed on these tests, not trying to answer the question asked, but trying to intuit what character choice I'm actually making about my class. And I realized that was self-defeating, and I might as well just, you know, select what I want.
Yeah, you just sort of get into a paranoia double.
So this is an important piece of dialogue right here.
This place, this vault, it's not perfect, I know, but it is your home. You're safe here. Stay on the Overseer's good side, and you always will be. You understand? You need to appreciate all you have, because what's up there on the outside, that's not the life I want for you. And it's not what your mother wanted for you either.
This, my friends, is called foreshadowing.
Take care, son.
It's not a bad bit of it either.
No,
hello,
that's actually,
bobblehead.
You know, I feel like there's 2 writers on the main storyline, one of which is good, one of which is not. And they have about equal representation.
Good morning.
I think it's just one guy with bipolar disorder.
Get out of my way, you stupid tuttle
Makes sense.
snakes!
Oh, the scene.
Hi, guy running into another guy.
Look at that guy. He's just, you know, he's trying to figure out what the optimal harassment range is.
Am I
So
good here? What do you
ironically,
think, Butch?
It's a lot easier to resolve this without violence, but that's dumb.
Yeah? What do you want?
I
Butch is
don't,
one of my favorite
there's
characters
no
in the game. I'm just gonna come out and say
blatantly,
it.
you suck, time to punch me option in that dialogue.
I know, I hate it. You know, Fallout, the original Fallout would have given us an option right there to, like, immediately pick a fight.
Yeah, you can just punch him. That actually works.
That's how I always
Sucker
do
punch
it.
him.
You've got to be kidding me.
Because there'll be no repercussions for that. For just slugging one guy in a vault full of 20 guys. There's no way that's going to come back to bite you.
Get him, guys! Hit him again! Hey, Susie, what's wrong? How do you like that?
Yeah, step 1, sexually harass the daughter of the overzealous Orwellian overseer.
There's a guy
Step
behind.
2, start a fight that implies that you're involved in systematic gang violence and abuse. Step 3, get murdered
where you guys
by
going?
security personnel.
Fine, let's go.
I just knocked him out. Yes.
How about we head down to the diner after class?
Wait for me to get up.
Excellent.
I like how he was just
Look at
trying to
the blood
walk
on the
away.
walls.
Man, like a slaughterhouse in here.
I don't
And it's
know
all
why
the
you
same
won't
blood
leave me alone.
decal.
Just because my father's the overseer, I guess? Idiots.
Just because
She's
my
still down
father
now.
is the supreme leader with all of the power and answers to no one, they want to hassle
And a
me.
horde.
Yes.
And a horde of specially selected, just jerk, sadistic murder soldiers.
Didn't work on your dad either, did it? Now, unless you have
At
something
his
else
beck
you
and
want to
call.
discuss, take a seat and prepare for the 2274 edition of the GOAT.
2274, that's the year, guys.
Man, I don't know. I can't get into 2274th edition. Just feels like an MMO now.
I know, they've really dumbed
Wait a
it down
minute.
since 2273.
Wasn't
Well,
Mass
I don't know, I
Effect
was always
set
in
in the late
2273.5.
23rd century? Or,
Well,
yeah.
now that everyone has managed to find the classroom,
Or was it in the
time to get started.
22nd?
No talking, and keep
I don't
your
know.
eyes to yourselves.
Okay, we're taking a test.
Yes, I'm talking.
This
to
is
you,
exciting.
Gloria.
Now
Do we have a
remember,
number 2 pencil?
step 1 of taking a test is to have no materials in front of you.
Let's get started.
Yep.
Question 1. A friend
And to
evolved
sit
scientist runs up to
And
you
to be
tells,
apparently
"I'd like to
bodiless?
put my quantum harmonizer in your photonic resonation chamber. What's your response?
Quantum harmonizer in your photonic resonation
My
chamber.
response,
That
start the porn
Yeah.
music.
say nothing, but grab a nearby pipe and hit the scientist in the head to knock him out. For all you knew, he was planning on blowing up the vault.
Question 2. While working as an intern in the clinic, a patient with a strange infection in his foot stumbles through the door. The infection is spreading at an alarming rate, but the doctor has stepped out for a while. What do you do?
Like, the boneheadedness of these
What-
answers.
What would
Like,
anybody else do in
amputate
that
the foot.
situation?
Restrain the
Like-
patient and observe as the infection spreads.
How about, like, just step back and let somebody whose job it is to do this... Well, oh, actually, I guess you are an intern,
Scream
but-
for help.
Well, see, this is a tricky
what would that
question
give
because
you?
it has to
What
assume
would-
that you're an intern. You have to, if you were an intern in this clinic, you have to think as an intern would. But if your personality isn't suited to that, I mean, if you're just gonna chop somebody's foot off, you wouldn't be an intern in the first place. Yeah, I have to call
About
this a flawed
scream for
question.
help. Like, what character class would scream for help imply? Like, is that going to give you points to speech?
I'm going to say amputate the foot, because that's
to-
what we
yeah.
do here.
You discover
We
your boy
amputate
lost
feet.
in
If you don't have a high speech, there's only a 30% chance anybody will come running.
but also appears to be in possession of stolen property. What do you do?
Oh my goodness, that guy is screaming for help, but he has low charisma. I don't like him, so screw it.
You find a young boy that's stolen something. Confiscate the stolen property by force and leave the boy there as punishment. Pick the boy's pocket to take the stolen property for yourself and then leave him to his fate. We'll do this because I like
Question
pickpocketing.
4. Congratulations.
Where's the summary
You've made
execution
one of
option?
the Vault 101 baseball teams.
Let's probably
Which
give him to the
position would you
overseer.
prefer?
I don't wish this vault had a soccer team. We'll be the
Kind of an
pitcher.
awkward question.
Question 5. Your
Elsewhere in this area, it does imply that they play baseball in the atrium, which we will see the atrium
atrium
later,
is-
and it is not
you can't play baseball in the atrium.
Looks like maybe like
You
half-court
can't play
basketball.
foosball in the atrium.
Obey
Like,
your
if
elder
you were
and kill the
standing-
resident
I actually
mafia
love this
monster.
question, and I love the picture that goes with this question.
Ask Granny for the minigun.
Question 6.
Granny totally has a minigun.
Old Mr. Abernathy has locked himself
How
in the
about
fortress.
just say, okay, Grandma, and then get somebody whose job it is to restrain crazy old people? I hear that's a career.
Well, if we weren't crazy, we would do that. Yeah, pretty much you've got lockpick the door or blow it up. But since we're a thief, we
How about
lockpick
get a
it.
custodian?
Question 7. Oh no.
But you want lockpicking as a character. Oh my goodness.
Hand is grown out of your stomach.
Because the locks in this game can never be. You either
A
need the
hand
key.
grew out of my stomach. Can I just like keep the hand? I mean, that'd be
Yeah.
cool.
See if you can train the hand to respond to stimuli. You can have a gun in that hand on your stomach.
Like, what, large doses of anti-mutant... I don't want to remove it, so I guess mutagen agent? I don't want to shoot myself in the head, either.
Vault 101 resident is in possession of Grognak the Barbarian comic book. Issue number
But I already have one of those. I used it, and it made my melee go up.
What's the best way to obtain it?
No, let's not trade. Steal, sneak, slip, some knockout. Sneak into it.
Question 9. You decide
Slip is probably pickpocket.
Yeah.
That's like
Okay, I have a
spike
serious
his
problem with
drink.
this question. You look at all the options, pretty much none of those are a good idea. Like, flooding the room, like, putting a firecracker in the
Manipulate
toilet,
the power
possibly
wattage
destroying...
on his razor. Firecracker.
Replace his high
Yay,
blood pressure
explosion.
medication with sugar pills? This is that's not a prank, that's the perfect crime.
He who shelters us from the harshness of the atomic wasteland, and to whom we owe everything we have, including our lives.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe is it A, or I'm kind of feeling C. I don't know, guys.
When in doubt, you're supposed to choose D.
D. I thought it was C.
Option E, Jabbar sucks. That joke goes out to the people in the Chocolate Hammer
Pencils
TF2
down,
server.
people. That's it. The infamous goat. I'm sure most of you didn't find it so bad. Others, well, there are always openings in the maintenance department. Don't forget to hand in your test before you leave. You don't want to know what happens to
I'm pretty sure the maintenance department wouldn't have me because I'd like blow up the water filter.
Or to pray.
Yeah, what responses could you possibly make that would get you a maintenance position, exactly?
How do I...
None of those suggested maintenance position.
Yeah, I think if you just answer incoherently and
Fry
stupidly...
cook.
I mean, I kind of accept that the whole thing is metagame element, but, you know, it always kind of bothered me that it really had nothing to do with an actual career aptitude test.
Closer to reality than
I also like this guy. I don't know if we ever find out what happens to this guy.
You do. I don't know if I should spoil it yet, but, no, you can follow up on what happens to Mr. Broch.
the whole test is a joke.
But he totally understands that the Overseer's a dumbass.
Any way you want. Just let me know.
He's genre savvy.
Hey, we got 2 of the 3 ones I was gonna pick, but not explosives. We want lockpick.
Although explosives, we will need 25 explosives to do the Megaton quest. I think either way.
That's true. Something people will notice coming from the original 2 Fallout games is picking your tag skills has a lot less of an effect than it used to.
Yeah, this was a crucial
like, tag
decision
skills
in
literally
the original
just
Fallout.
plus 20 to a skill. No increase when you try to add more points to that skill or anything. It's just like, hey, these are the skills you start out with. So I guess
this
we'll
is
pick
not a long-term
explosives.
decision.
We definitely want melee weapons and sneak because sneak is tied to pickpocketing.
This is always the page in the RPG where I get paralyzed because I can't.
Yeah.
Pick 3. Arcanum was the worst. Arcanum just it gives you so many wonderful options, all of which look equally appetizing. And then it gives you literally 5 points to assign into your stats, your skills, like what items you can create. It's just not enough. Not anything like enough.
Oh, Amada is waking us up.
You've got to get out of here. Your dad is gone, and my father's men are looking for you. You don't understand. Your dad somehow opened the main door and left the vault. My father, I've never seen him so angry. Listen to me.
Josh, I gotta
guards
commend
find you,
your
they'll kill you.
strength of will. I think at this point I automatically start skipping through dialogue choices, whether I intend to.
Yeah, I'm
know.
really close to that point.
God damn it!
Because you know,
Stop making jokes and
I like
listen to
listening
me.
to the dialogue, and in
Jonas
fact,
is
in
dead.
situations where the voice
Do you
acting is
understand
good, I
what
actually
I'm
turn
saying to
subtitles
you?
off, so I'm
My
forced to
father
listen to it.
ordered the guards to do it.
Yeah.
And now they're coming here to do the same thing to you.
So
This
your
is
dad
not a
killed
joke. You need
Jonas.
to get out of here.
Well, I hope you don't have any sort of familial connections you don't want severed. Okay, so where do we go?
I'm sorry, but I think you'll have to follow your dad.
Just pick one. It doesn't matter.
Listen,
This is not a branching choice.
None of this really affects anything.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sure he had his reasons. Maybe Jonas was supposed to explain everything to you?
Okay, so
Doesn't
Dad left
matter.
the vault
I
and he
can help
didn't
you
tell us
escape. I
why.
have my own plan.
Why?
Listen,
Why did he do that?
there's a secret tunnel that leads directly
And we
to my
find out
father's
later,
office.
and when we find out,
Lock the computer in his
we
office
are
and open it.
sad. Because
get
it
into his
doesn't
office
sound
for a
very
while.
reasonable.
More like we're pissed.
Why does
Yeah.
he just randomly
One more thing.
leave the vault at that
I still
time?
thought it
I
was
mean,
gonna
you know, I know why he
Yeah.
leaves the vault, but why
Better
then?
take it just in case.
Because you're an
Okay,
adult.
see,
You turn 19.
we don't need your pistol, and,
Well,
like, I'll be nice to you, Amata, this
Unless
time.
you're
You can
willing
keep the
to run
pistol.
into any rad roaches.
I can
Oh, and he
see
lets
that
you don't wanna
baseball
sell
bat
that?
over
Watch out for
there.
security. Good luck.
I can get it later.
Okay. Okay, riddle me this. How does he let in rad roaches? How is he so incompetent that the act of
know.
opening a door and then closing a door lets in rad roaches that just literally
Yeah.
kill several people?
Okay, and
Alright,
I think
so,
this is a good place to call it.
Yep, next episode, we figure out what the hell is going on and hit some people with a baseball bat.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that.
Ah,
Okay, my brain always fills in that little thing on the baseball bat as a Toyota logo, and I am aware that that makes no sense.
this guy's getting attacked by roaches. I think we should kill the roaches and then
I knew you'd turn up
kill him because he doesn't like us.
You want some more?
This baseball bat sucks. Alright,
Yeah.
so why don't we demonstrate VATS real fast? Even though I ended the episode like 2 minutes ago. VATS is basically the old, I apparently can't actually hit you with VATS.
Yeah, this is a great introduction to VATS. You're too close to somebody and you can't attack them with melee.
VATS is basically the
introduction
old
to VATS.
aiming
It
system
doesn't work.
from Fallout. Alright, so we left our room and killed a security guard. I'd say that's a good place to end it. So
That's a
see you guys
proud.
next time.
All right.